You just lost $1,440. You will lose another $1,440 tomorrow and the day after that, but you will never get it back. Not ever. I am not talking about money. I am talking about something far rarer than money, which is time. The one currency that even the richest man cannot buy back. And the truth is, most people spend it like it costs nothing until they have none left to spend. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes because this is not a lesson about time management. This is a lesson about life management, about the sacred currency through which your karma, your dharma, and your destiny unfold. The shocking truth is, if I gave you $86,400 and told you that anything you don't use by midnight disappears forever, would you let even $1 go to waste? Of course not. You would plan, you would act with precision to make sure you don't lose that money. Every morning, life gives you 86,400 seconds, a full day to spend, to serve, to create, and every night, whatever you did not use with awareness simply dissolves into time's ocean. You can earn back money, you can regain reputation, you can rebuild strength, but time never returns. And yet, we treat it as if it were infinite, forgetting that the Gita reminds us, Kalaha Kalyatam Aham, of all forces that move the world, I am time itself. Time is not moving past us, time is moving through us. Here is the truth about most people never face. 90% of humanity wastes 3 to 4 hours every single day. That's over 1,000 hours a year, which is equivalent to 2 months of life just vanished doing nothing. Imagine someone stealing 2 months from your life every year. You would call it theft. But when the thief is invisible, which is named distraction, you smile and hand him the keys. And yet, you and I, we justify it. I'm busy, I'm productive. Busy is not productive. Motion is not progress. Understand? Let me repeat. Busy is not productive. Motion is not progress. You are not what you do repeatedly. You are what you build consciously. Here are three invisible time traps we all are caught up. Trap number one, the illusion of multitasking. Your mind is like a flame. It can light one lamp clearly, but if you divide it into many, all grow dim. Every time you switch tasks, your mind takes minutes to return home. So when you juggle work, messages, and screens, you are not mastering time, you are scattering life. Trap number two, the urgency addiction. Most people live in reaction. They respond to every beep, every call, every pull of the world. But as Krishna told Arjuna, he who is not disturbed by the flow of desires, who remains steady amidst pleasure and pain, that man is wise. You cannot serve your purpose if you are enslaved by every urgency. Either you command your time or you become a servant to others' noise. Trap number three, the comfort zone coma. This is the most deceptive. You work all day, you feel tired, you feel productive. But ask yourself, what have you created? Have you moved closer to your purpose, your goal, or simply moved in circles? A life full of activity but empty of awareness is like a candle that burns brightly but lights nothing. Look around. Some people seem to do everything. They build empires, nurture families, grow in silence. It's not because they have more time, it's because they see time as sacred energy. They have mastered the 4Q framework, the four dimensions through which every conscious life flows. the physical, the intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual. In simple terms, the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul. Let's decode this through the wisdom of the Gita. Step number 1: audit your life. Before Arjuna could fight, he had to see, he had to face his battlefield. You must do the same. Where are your 86,400 seconds going? Not theoretically, but practically. Write it down. You will be stunned at how much of your life is traded for small pleasures, for screens, for distractions that don't matter a week later. This is not about guilt, it's about truth, and truth frees you. The step 2 is the 3-3-3 rule, which includes number 1, 3 hours of deep work. Your karma in action. This is Nishkama karma. Work done with focus, without distraction or attachment. No phone, no noise, just creation. Second is 3 critical tasks. Your dharma in priority. If you could complete only 3 things today that align with your deeper purpose, what would they be? Do only those, the rest is noise. The next is 3 energy resets. Your balance between inner and outer worlds. 10 minutes of movement and breath in the morning, 10 minutes of stillness midday, 10 minutes of gratitude at night, 30 minutes that protect your inner flame from this extinguished by exhaustion. You will feel fresh and alive if you practice these 30 minutes. Now let's go to step 3, the Sunday time design session. Every week, sit in stillness and design, not plan, your days. Ask yourself the 4 cues. First is about your health quotient. How will I honor my body, this temple of spirit? Number 2, to address your intelligence quotient. What will I learn or refine this week that moves me towards mastery? Number 3, to address your emotional quotient, ask who needs my full presence and what boundaries will keep me grounded in love. And finally, for your spiritual quotients, ask, does my week serve my dharma? Does it move me closer to the person I meant to become? This is not time management, it is life alignment. When you design your week, not just plan it, you are closer to performing in your best ability. When your days begin to reflect your dharma, time stops feeling like a race, it becomes a rhythm. Here is the brutal truth. Everything I have shared works, but most will not apply it. You will listen, you will feel inspired, you might even make notes, and then tomorrow you will go back to the noise. Why? Because motivation fades, awareness must be cultivated to practice these things. The Gita did not ask Arjuna to feel inspired, it asked him to act in awareness, with discipline, with surrender. You don't need more motivation. You need a system that aligns your days with your dharma. Without that, you are simply reacting to life instead of living it. Take a deep breath. Now do this. Take your age, subtract it from 80, multiply by 365. That's the number. Those are your remaining days if destiny allows. If you are 30, you have around 18,250 days left. If you are 50, it is closer to 11,000 days. Every night, one more disappears. So this Sunday, block 30 minutes in your calendar. Call it your time design session. No phone, no distractions. Sit quietly and ask, what kind of week do I wish to live? What kind of person am I becoming through my choices? The simple act, done weekly, can shift your destiny. Because, as the Gita reminds us, you have the right to action, but not to the fruits of action. Your job is to align your action with your truth. Time will take care of the rest. Every night, as you close your eyes, you are 86,400 seconds poorer. But the real question is, what did you buy with them? Did you buy peace, growth, memories, meaning, or did you trade them for anxiety and distraction? Time is not passing, you are definitely. And when you begin to live with awareness, time becomes sacred, not as a measure of minutes, but as a movement toward truth. So tonight, before you sleep, whisper this to yourself: may I spend tomorrow in alignment with my dharma, in the service of my purpose, and in remembrance of who I truly am. Because the one who masters his time masters his life, and the one who surrenders his time to consciousness transcends it.